On June 25, 2009, Michael Jackson, who was also known as the King of Pop, passed away at the age of 50. His death was announced. His untimely passing jolted the entire world, and it prompted many admirers and detractors of his work to speculate about the circumstances surrounding his passing. In spite of the fact that his death was officially ruled to have been brought on by acute intoxication with propofol and benzodiazepines, there are still a great deal of mysteries and conjectures concerning Michael Jackson's last moments on Earth. Here are some of the mysteries surrounding Michael Jackson's death. Before we reveal the answers, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Who administered the fatal dose of propofol? The identity of the individual who gave Michael Jackson the lethal dose of propofol, a potent anesthetic, is one of the most important questions that remain unanswered regarding the circumstances surrounding his passing. In 2011, a court determined that Dr. Conrad Murray, who was Michael Jackson's personal physician, was guilty of involuntary manslaughter for providing the deadly amount. Yet, there are many who feel that Michael Jackson's passing was not an isolated incident and that other people, such as additional medical professionals, nurses, or members of Jackson's close circle, were involved. Did Michael Jackson die of natural causes? Others have theorized that Michael Jackson might have passed away due to factors unrelated to the overdose of propofol that was administered to him. There is credence to the speculation that Michael Jackson's death was brought on by the severe insomnia he suffered from in addition to his other health issues. On the other hand, the official autopsy report concluded that Michael Jackson was murdered, and that his death was brought on by acute intoxication with propofol and benzodiazepines. Was Michael Jackson murdered? According to a number of conspiracies, Michael Jackson was killed by either a person who was part of his close circle or by another person who had a motivation to hurt him. There is a school of thought that holds that Michael Jackson's passing was orchestrated as part of a broader plot to get control of his finances and his legacy. What role did Jackson's family play in his death? There is no hard evidence to support the hypothesis that any member of Michael Jackson's family was directly involved in the singer's passing. Even though there have been a few claims and complaints made by a few different people over the course of the years, none of these have been supported by evidence that is considered trustworthy. It is important to keep in mind, however, that Jackson's family did have a tumultuous relationship with him, particularly in the years that immediately preceded his passing away. There were rumors of tension and arguments between Jackson and various members of his family, notably his father, Joe Jackson, and some of his siblings. Following Michael Jackson's passing, there were a number of legal fights fought over his estate and legacy, with various members of his family vying for either ownership of his assets or a larger portion of them. Although these disagreements were eventually addressed, they served to shed light on the complex relationships that existed inside the Jackson family. In the end, there is little evidence to show that Jackson's family was directly responsible for his passing, despite the fact that they undoubtedly played a large role in his life and were a substantial influence on him. What happened to Michael Jackson's body after his death? Following Michael Jackson's passing, there were rumors that his body had been transferred more than once and stashed in a number of different places before being sent to the mortuary. Some individuals think that this was an attempt to hide evidence or to drag out the investigation into Jackson's death. Others think that it was just a coincidence. Was there a cover-up in the investigation of Michael Jackson's death? Some people are of the opinion that there was a cover-up in the investigation into Michael Jackson's death. This could have been done for one of two reasons, either to protect someone who was involved in his death or to conceal evidence that could have shed light on the circumstances surrounding his passing. In conclusion, the enigmas that surround Michael Jackson's passing continue to pique people's interest and hold their attention all across the world. While according to the findings of the autopsy, Michael Jackson passed away from acute intoxication with propofol and benzodiazepines, which was the official cause of death. As Michael Jackson's personal physician at the time, Dr. Conrad Murray was the one who administered the deadly amount of propofol, and as a result, he was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. There is no hard evidence to support the assertions that Michael Jackson's death was the result of a murder plotted by a member of Jackson's inner circle or another person who had a reason to hurt him. Nonetheless, there are several conspiracy theories that suggest this. An overdose of the substance was discovered to be the official cause of death, and it was found that Dr. Murray was responsible for delivering the dose that ultimately proved to be lethal. Catherine Jackson on the passing of Michael Jackson. The passing of her son in 2009 left Michael Jackson's mother, Catherine Jackson, in an understandable state of utter devastation. In the wake of his dying, she issued a number of remarks in which she expressed her grief and disbelief at his passing. Catherine said the following in a statement that was issued not long after Jackson's passing: "Our entire family is utterly broken and overcome with sadness at this terrible news. Michael was someone who held a special place in our hearts, and we will miss him tremendously." She continued by expressing gratitude to Michael's followers and friends for their love and sympathies, saying, "We know that Michael would not want his fans to be without his music since he loved his fans so much." In the years that followed Jackson's passing, Catherine was embroiled in a number of legal issues that were connected to his estate and legacy. Catherine expressed her belief that Dr. Conrad Murray was not entirely to blame for the passing of her son Michael in an interview that took place in 2013 with ABC News. She stated, "I don't think he did it intentionally, but he was just taking care of Michael and he made a mistake." Catherine is the mother of Michael. She also discussed the never-ending love and admiration she has for her son, saying things like, "I have a lot of pride in my son. He was successful in many endeavors. He went through some difficult times, but overall, he was a very remarkable human being." That's an end for today's video. Do you think it was a murder? Let us know in the comments section below. And make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more future videos.